Welcome home. We are WNST. Towson, Baltimore. Baltimore Positive. We are positively into a really, really busy time of the year here with the Ravens playing important games and the Orioles sort of hanging on and making their thing happen. Luke will be in Owings Mills. Luke will be down at the ballpark. We will have Ravens scratch-offs to give away on the Maryland Crab Cake Tour on October the 11th, celebrating both of our birthdays at Pizza John's in Essex. That's Luke's favorite, my favorite. We'll have a crab cake there as well. They have a delicious crab cake at Pizza John's because they're in Essex. Also, our friends at Liberty Pure Solutions putting us out on the road and our amazing 26 years of doing this every single day for 26 years at Baltimore Positive. We're going to have 26 oysters and we're going to change our logo to the 26 by the time this gets out on the radio in early October. You'll hear that. I have a lot of cool guests around here. We call them Wise Conversations with our friends at Wise Markets. And I've had other guests on from the Brain Injury Association of Maryland and BIAMD. And, we talk so much about concussions in sports and, whether it's baseball, football, soccer, anywhere in sports, we see them, their brain injuries. And I guess we think about that in a sports vernacular, but when I talk to really educated people about this, doctors who work on concussions, this is 99% of people just falling and having some really tragic, horrible, middle of the day, can't believe it, not slipping on ice or anything like that, showers, all sorts of ways. And there's nothing better than bringing on someone who's celebrating surviving something like this. And Martin Kerrigan is our guest. He is now a 26-year brain injury survivor. He is here on behalf of the Brain Injury Association of Maryland. And they do this Scarecrow Classic every year, all these great groups trying to do good things. And I try to shine a little bit of light. Marty's a teacher down in Montgomery County Schools and a father of three children as well. And I'm going to let him tell the story because right before I brought you on, and I don't know you at all, and I'm staring at you, and you're in a school because you're a teacher. And you said to me, it's been 26 years today. And I'm like, well, wow. I mean, why are you here with me? Why is this your celebration, Martin?
Well, thanks, Nestor. So, as you stated, 26 years ago today, I was a student at the University of Maryland. I just transferred there. It was a Friday night. I was walking across the Route 1, got hit by a car, and suffered a devastating, severe traumatic brain injury. Was immediately taken to the hospital. Wasn't given much likelihood to survive the night, but I did. And over the next year, with a lot of intense therapy and access to great care, I was able to make, in really what is in hindsight, just a truly remarkable recovery to the point where I was back in college full time following fall as a student. This time I transferred to Towson University. So go Tigers. And, it was just, when I was in it, I didn't feel like it was moving that quick or that remarkable. But in hindsight, and especially from what I've learned and what I've seen from others, it really was. And most people do not end up with this fortune of an outcome that I've had.
My friend at Cole Roofing, Bill Cole, 10 years ago, 11 years ago now, almost 11 and a half years ago, my wife was diagnosed with leukemia. And she's a two-time survivor. It was horrible. I was on the radio for all of it. I was at her bedside, surviving bone marrow transplants, just all of it. What I saw in medicine and in care and in science, and I mean, stuff that during the plague blew my mind, people not listening to doctors because they're jackasses. But I'm thinking 26 years where I was starting this radio station 26 years ago, literally 1998, this time of year. You said it was September 25th, third week of the football season. I'll tell you, Jim Harbaugh was the quarterback of the Ravens then. And, we were moving into a new stadium. I mean, I think about where I was in my life during that month, that period of time when, I remember Maryland was playing football. You're down on that campus. I'm sure it happened very near to there. To think about how far medicine's come and how far what we knew about football concussions in 1998 and how we treated them. Hey, be tough, go back in there, versus what you were going through on a scientific level and where we've come 26 years later, that God forbid if that happened to you today. I would think that things like the Brain Institute Association of Maryland, Brain Injury, BIAMD, it's organizations like this and people like you that have made it better for people if they have a brain injury now.
So to an extent, you're right, Nestor, and we really have made some significant medical advances, especially in the last 25 years. Traumatic brain injury has been not only the recognition through the concussion awareness, but also actually a lot of the increased awareness through the conflicts in the Middle East over the last 20 plus years. Has shined a lot of light, brought a lot of attention to it. However, even still, that's not the majority of brain injuries. And unfortunately, the majority of brain injuries oftentimes go undiagnosed or mistreated, or sorry, misdiagnosed or untreated.
Or you hit your head
And
and you don't tell anybody,
right, right,
right?
or you don't even recognize it, or you hit your head years ago, and then all of a sudden it takes a long time for the symptoms to start manifest itself, or you don't connect the dots between difficulties and challenges you're having in life to, my gridiron glory in high school 25 years ago, where I don't remember the end of half of my games that I was in, or the fist fights, or the repeated head trauma, whatever the case may be. And one of the things that we really try to advocate for is screening, screening, screening.
That's
if
called a
if
baseline, right? Get it. Let's see where you are right now and make sure we're not dropping, correct?
yeah, I mean, and we're also to like connect the dots. Okay, where's that cut point in my life? Like, where did these difficulties start happening? And was there anything else that occurred at that point in time that makes me realize, oh, maybe I'm not just a screw up. Maybe there's something else going on. Maybe there really is a history of, traumatic brain injury, or something else going on that is leading me to have these difficulties in my life now.
Martin Kerrigan. You prefer Martin or Marty? I want to get it right.
Whatever you
All
prefer.
right. Martin Kerrigan is a 26-year brain injury survivor. He is here representing the Injury Association of Maryland. I've had them on many, many times. We talk football, and we talk concussions and all of that. You're a school teacher. What do you teach?
So I'm a special educator, and I'm now teaching at the high school level. I'm a transition teacher, so I help kids plan for what life is going to look like after high school, and try to set them up with different resources and services that may be available to them.
Well, they're doing the Scarecrow Classic, and every year you try to do different things. This is a 1 mile walk and a Classic 5K. It's going to be held on Sunday, October 20th. So let me just look at the Orioles schedule, see what ALCS game they'll be. They'll clinch. Already be in the World Series by then. It's in Sykesville, and I can send you out to the website to learn about all this. I'm going to give a link out on our website as well. Tell me about your work with the Brain Injury Association of Maryland. And you're here on behalf of them, but I think on behalf of a lot of advocates, you seem like a great spokesperson with a hell of a story to tell. It's inspirational just for me and knowing you for 10 minutes. But helping other people and having a community come together. I learned this with my wife's cancer and leukemia and survival. And we work with a group called There Goes My Hero and swabbing people and doing all that. But the advocacy, because someone in this listening audience is going to suffer some sort of brain injury at some point, falling in a shower, falling on ice, hitting the head. Something's going to happen, or car accidents, all of these different ways. And it's groups like this that put fundraisers together, put awareness together, and bring people like you out in front. What is the Scarecrow Classic 5K? So, because I ain't run, I'm running to the refrigerator, get another beer for the fifth inning this month. What I'm doing.
I completely understood. So I will tell you this Scarecrow Classic. It's our 5K. It's our big event. And I say ours on behalf of the Brain Injury Association of Maryland. And we also consider kind of like our outreach educational fair too. And for the past several years, we've actually held it. And now I believe it's third location. It's in Sykesville, like you said. It's more of like a cross country course, but you don't have to be an expert runner. It's nice, gentle. It's very pretty. It's very scenic. Some gorgeous trails, beautiful views of the lake. It's a beautiful
You call
view.
it Carroll County, as I like to say.
Wonderful, wonderful Sykesville, yes. And here's the best part: even if you got Ravens tickets and tickets to the O's home World Series game that day, it's in the morning. You got plenty of time to go, run your race, hang out for a little while, go home, shower, and get to the parking lot in time to start tailgating.
Piney Run Park, 30 March Road in Sykesville, beautiful Carroll County. The 2024 Scarecrow Classic 5K and 1 mile walk is going to be held on October 20th. It's in person. It's for the Brain Injury Association of Maryland. That's BIAMD. They're going to rally survivors, like my man Martin here, families, friends, supporters around the common goal of raising awareness about brain injury within the community and providing much needed funding to support the programs. You can come out, you can run, you can walk, you can chill out, you can enjoy beautiful Carroll County. Race day check-in starts at 8 o'clock. The race starts at 9, and the 1 miler starts at 9:10, and you can walk. That's a nice day for a walk, third Saturday of October, right? That right after my birthday. That'd be nice, Martin.
I think this is a great way for you to celebrate your birthday, Nestor.
All right. Well, 56 years. Don't make me walk 56 miles. On behalf of everyone else, and you're not a doctor, you're not going to play one on the radio, but what advice would you give to people if they fall, hit their head, think something, their spouse? I mean, this is something that I just want to impress upon people, the
Yeah.
seriousness of it,
That
is to make sure you get checked out, right?
right. So that's a great question, Nestor. So absolutely, and I'll say the slogan that I like to say, the Brain Injury Association of America used to use this slogan all the time, and I still find myself saying it on a regular basis. No brain injury is too mild to ignore nor too severe to lose hope. So, and what that means to me is, even if you think that's not wasn't that big of a deal, get it checked out, follow it. But also on the flip side, if your loved one or yourself has had a very severe brain injury, you know, it's not a death sentence, and you can always make improvements. There's never a ceiling, right? You can always improve, you can always get better, you can always do things, especially if like you pointed out, which is so important, have access to the right medical teams, right treatment. This is where the Brain Injury Association of Maryland is great. They're like our clearinghouse. So, you call them and they'll refer you to what is appropriate for you depending
True
on.
trusted resource, right?
Yep, and they refer you depending on where you live, what your resources are, your insurance, all those different things. They can refer you to whatever you may need. We are a small but mighty force, and I like to say that the brain injury community is we work hard, and you have a lot of really good heroes in this world.
And you're going to see a lot of people on the 20th, right? I mean, you say that community comes together. This is your little Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, I hope so. So, and the more people we can get out there, the better. I really encourage it. Even if you have nothing to do with brain injury, you don't think you know anybody with brain injury, you're wrong because you do. We all do. Still show up. It's a great time. And again, like I said, it's a fun course. It's challenging, but it's not too difficult where you need to be a great expert runner. We have all levels of runners who will be competing there. I got a couple friends who I ran track and cross country with in college who will be running there, but I also know people who, don't run at all who still show up and participate. So it's a great, great opportunity. Great fundraiser. Can't speak highly enough of it.
5K, that's 3.1 miles or 1 mile walk, which is easier. Or you could just like mail in your $38.10 and go virtual. You could do that too. We're going to send everybody out to the Brain Injury Institute of Maryland's webpage, their sign up page out at the Run Sign Up, and you can get involved. Piney Run Park, it is on the 20th. I always love having guests like you. So you mean you started to talk some ish about Towson and go Tigers, and you're giving me all that? I mean, are you Orioles or Nationals? Are you Commanders and Ray? Where are you?
So, all right. So don't hate me for this. I
Oh,
was born
I
and
know where
raised.
you're going with
I
this.
was born and raised in New Jersey,
That's all right.
but so I'm a Mets and a Giants fan. Okay.
Well, you're
Um,
you're suffering
th-
for some part. Maybe the Mets. I
yeah,
don't know. Maybe.
yeah, yeah. Well, so I'll say the Orioles are my national or my American League team. I'll take that. The only time I'll root against the Orioles is if the Mets are playing them. And for football, that Super Bowl loss over 20 years ago still stings. But
Tiki Barber called the game 2 weeks ago, and every time I see him, I wave the ring at him. You know what I mean? A Tiki. So I still have that going on for him and Strahan, all those guys from back in the day. Poor Jim Fossil, my dear friend, the late great Jim Fossil. So yeah, you got and Ernie Accorsi. I mean, Baltimore's very own. I mean, Ernie's my dude. So I can't hate. Listen, the Giants Ravens thing. It happened in '58. It happened in. It's We're
Right, right.
still, it's probably not going to happen again. I ain't worried about that. I'm worried about beating the Bills and worried about the Bengals next week and all of that. Martin Kerrigan is here. And I don't think you have anything to worry about. Your football team stinks. So baseball team, maybe. We'll see.
We'll see.
Maybe. We'll see. We thought we had a good football team. We thought we had a good baseball team here. The next couple of weeks will tell us whether we have a good baseball team or not. And certainly the football thing's going on. Luke's going to be out in Owings Mills, from Owings Mills to Camden Yards. I don't know where Luke's going to be on the 20th of October, but probably chasing the Orioles somewhere here this month. All of our stuff brought to you by our friends at the Maryland Lottery. I will be out doing the Crab Cake Tour on October 11th. That's Friday. Luke's birthday is the 2nd. Mine's the 14th. We're going to meet on the 11th at Pizza John's in Essex. Hopefully we're previewing the American League Championship Series after a sweep of the New York Yankees behind Dean Kramer going 7 strong and 4 hits. Let me dream a little bit. I am Nestor. We are WNST, AM 1570 Towson, Baltimore. Lots of sports ahead, lots of Baltimore positive ahead. Stay with us.